Hey guys, Mizu does it 951 here, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Today we're here back on Bendy and the Dark Arrival in the archives. Woo! I'm actually gonna get an actual decent thumbnail on this. Yeah, this is gonna be the thumbnail. Oh my goodness! After so long in the freaking studio in Bendy and the Dark Revival, we're finally in the archives. Since I don't want an ink machine, let's actually get on with the archives for Dark Revival. So. As we got Bendy right here. Bendy, the iconic imp, was redesigned for Dark Revival to stand out a bit from his traditional cartoon appearance. By giving him a suit of clothes, he posed some minor challenges, specifically creating a face that sported the classic Bendy attire, smile, but still managed to be heartwarming in the right conditions. He is a fan favorite, so his design had to be just right during production. Okay, we originally envisioned Benny to talk with a series of cute squeaks to contrast the dark, low voice of the Ink Demon, but this turned out to be very distracting, and the idea was scrapped pretty early on. Wow. Okay, so this guy was supposed to have like a voice, but instead things kind of like turn out rough in the development of Dark Revival. But yeah, like giving him like a whole suit and all that stuff is actually pretty cool. And yeah, it's pretty cool that we got to see Bendy become the actual Ink Demon, since back in the early days of Ink Machine, Bendy and the Ink Machine, the original game, like people will like have Bendy, like this Bendy right here, become the Ink Demon. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, come on, there can't be two, right? Okay. All right, so what do we got here? We got Wilson. All right. So Wilson was a difficult character to balance at first. The player are purposely led to believe he is a one-note character, obviously evil with an over-the-top villain personality. It makes sense. His voice and everything is kind of creepy and all that stuff. But as the story progresses, we see other sides of the character, and the player becomes molded with who this man really is. In one draft, Wilson was written as a servant of Nathan Arch Jr., a separate character at the time, but the story made far more sense when the two characters became one, eliminating a lot of needless narrative complexity. Okay, so Wilson was supposed to be like a servant to like his father, which is Nathan Arch, but I guess that they scrapped that and just made him become like, everything. So this is him like in his cartoon form. And this is Audrey, the character we played. Wait, hold on, who am I? Wait, I don't really have a body, so I'm just pretty much the player. Okay, so Audrey in her cartoon form. So, Audrey is a kind-hearted rogue with courage, determination, some flaws, and a deep, dark past. To make our story work, we needed a newcomer to the cartoon studio world, and Audrey was the perfect fresh eyes to help experience the adventure from day one of production. We knew that if people didn't connect with Audrey by the end of the game itself wouldn't be successful. Yeah. Fortunately, she turned out to be quite memorable indeed and stands out from the other members of the cast. Yeah, like, not gonna lie, in videos of Bendy and the Ink Machine and Dark Revival, like, Audrey's like a lot more, a lot more, how do I say it, stand out than Henry, because Henry was more of a, like, we never really got to actually see his face, but hey, Henry was also like a love character, so yeah, pretty cool. Oh yeah, we got the Ink Machine. Oh my goodness, dude. So this is what the Ink Machine looks like in Dark Revival now. Can I run? No, I can't even run. I can't even run. Wow. We barely even got to see the thing like in action. Wait a minute, is it just me or did the thing kind of like shrink a little bit? Because I remember it being a lot huge back in Ink Machine. Okay. Alright, the Ink Machine, designed by Thomas Connor and the Gent Corporation, stolen by Joey Drew, retrieved by Archgate, and once again reclaimed by Gent. The Ink Machine's new next adventure is a mystery. Yep. So we saw that in the end credits that the freaking Gent Corporation pretty much grabbed the Ink Machine again and just decided to like put it wherever. Oh yeah, we got Bendy. Oh my goodness. The Ink Demon, Ink Bendy. Like, oh my gosh, like I never really got to actually get a full look at him in the actual game, but then again, like he barely like appeared. Oh my goodness, dude, he actually looks a lot more creepier. Okay, as the world of Dark Revival became more complex and established, we realized the Ink Demon's design needed a complete rethink to match our new tone. Previous versions of its appearance looked absolutely silly when placed in the world alongside the other characters. No amount of creepy music, screen or screen effects could conceal how out of place he looked. Yeah. The Ink Demon needed to look different than everything else in the world and show a natural progression of the Ink Demon's evolution as Wilson held the cycle in place. Yeah, my goodness, like I did see like like most people saw the early concept of of Ink Bendy in Dark Revival, and yeah, like it was supposed to look like how it was in Ink Machine, but a little bit different. But yeah, this one kind of actually makes it a lot more better. Like, look at him. Like, you can see his feet. Like, it has like the whole, like the feet of the demon and all this stuff. I forgot what's called, but yeah. Beast Bendy. Oh my gosh. Returning for the climax of Dark Revival, Beast Bendy also was revisited with the mindset of making far more powerful and beast-like traditionality. I can't say words. In most horror games, they tend to build to a point where the main villain becomes a final form monster as a final boss. It's practically a trope. Our idea, what if you got to play as that final form instead? Yeah, it was actually pretty cool to actually play as Beast Bendy. Like, holy crud. And dude, he finally did not skip leg day, because back in Ink Machine you skipped leg day instead. But yeah, but you got more taller, you got more scarier, and less skinnier, I guess. Yeah, okay. Wow, okay, so we got this part out of the way, so let's actually go to this part. Like, man, it's just insane how much, how things change, dude. Alright, let's go. The Psycho Breakers. Oh, we got the trio here. We got Henry, we got Allison, we got Tom. Oh my goodness. They should be called the Psycho Breakers. The Cycle Breaker Trio. There. The Cycle Breaker Trio. Wow, that's what they should be called, because they're actually like right here. Okay, we got Henry. Oh man, the original Cycle Breaker. Henry Stein is the ghost of a man who lost his purpose years ago. Once fueled with finding a way to escape the tortures of the Ink Demon and finding his way home to his wife, Henry is now left with the cold reality of being a recreation of the person he thought he was. Saved as a special surprise for fans of the Bendy and the Ink Machine game, Henry was strictly omitted from all public discussion of the character during the entire production, which spanned several years. But Henry returned with a very satisfying feature reveal. Yeah, because we never really, back in Ink Machine, before Dark Revival wasn't even a thing, like a lot of us, well, not really me, but other people tried to like make fan art of what Henry is supposed to look, or even got a clue of what he looks. And yeah, this is actually what he actually looks like, which is actually crazy, dude. But yeah, it's insane that this isn't really like the real Henry. This is like a cartoon version. But the thing is, it doesn't really make sense, because everyone in the studio were pretty much were employees turned into either searchers, or the Butcher Gang, or Lost Ones, or cartoon versions of the characters, or corrupted versions as well. But so I started to think that this Henry isn't really like a recreation of the real one. It's literally just Henry in a it's pretty much a cartoon Henry inside the. It's kind of hard to even say, because Henry doesn't really look like the other characters. Like take for example Audrey. Audrey literally looks completely different. Like, here, hold on. Let me go all the way over here. Audrey looks completely different when she entered the studio. Like, look, like her eyes glows and everything. She has like powers and all this stuff. Including Wilson, he looks different. He doesn't really look like all human. Same with everyone here. And Henry looks nothing like them. Like, look, he literally looks like just a human, just covered in ink. Well, it's just a human, like, with stains of ink on him, and he doesn't really have, I don't know. Yeah, so Henry's a lot more special compared to other characters, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. Allison, returning for another victory for the Ink Demon. Allison is always the voice of reason, a beacon of hope. Allison's design was carefully upgraded from the previous Bendy and the Ink Machine game to maintain her personality, but with more uh, fidelity. I cannot say it. The purpose of meeting Allison so early in the campaign was to introduce the player to a familiar face after the main introduction. At the start, Allison was able to serve as the motivating face for Audrey until the true plot kicked in later. Yeah, it was seeing Allison early in the game was actually surprising. Like, it's insane that we got to see her instead of the evil Allison. The evil Alice was pretty much the if you played Ink Machine, we met the evil Alice Angel where we were back in the beginning of chapter 1 in the epilogue. But yeah, Tom. Tom is Allison's silent protector and the only Boris clone involved in the main story. Where is Boris the Wolf, the other one that we were with when we couldn't save him from the evil Alice back in Ink Machine? Rumor has it that during the events of the game, Boris is experiencing a dark survival story of his own. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that the other Boris clone that Henry was with back in Ink Machine, in chapter 3, is that that Boris has like a dark survival spin-off game. It pretty much has like a part where, oh my gosh, I can't say, I'm like going all over the place. It's that spin-off is pretty much like a prequel to Ink Machine, and it's also like pretty much like a side story to Dark Revival as well. But yeah, from what I heard. But anyways, Betty, oh yeah, a faithful maid among the other things to Wilson. Betty was a important character to the story of Dark Revival as a failed experiment and someone relatively new to the cartoon studio. She was able to give a somewhat different point of view on the state of the world. We have purposely left it unclear if Betty was in on Wilson's plot to harass Audrey or if she is just a bystander. Behind her mask, there are still answers to be found. Yep. Yeah. Betty was kind of like, I guess, I don't know. From my perspective, she was more of a bystander, but who knows? And oh, Joey Drew, the memory version, not the real dude. The man, the legend, the memory, creating this version of Joey Drew was both an exciting and daunting process. It was clear from the start that this Joey would be different from the one from the original Bendy and the Ink Machine game. Yeah, it makes sense because the Joey from Ink Machine was already old, and it was surprisingly seeing this one was all young, and I was like, why is he young, bro? But anyways, it's a cartoon world. Who knows? It could change appearance and all this stuff. But yeah, this was a man with all the guilt from a past life, but without the experience to fully understand it. The real Joey Drew made many mistakes, but ultimately learned from them. This doesn't absolve him of his sins, but at the end of his life, he was able to help correct some of them and help fight the darkness he created. Yeah. Yeah, you have a lot to still answer for, Joey, so don't think you're getting off the hook yet, dude. Like, you still got a lot to answer for. Okay, what's this? Oh yeah, this is the real world. Oh yeah. Is that the coffee? Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Audrey's donut. No, you can't have it. What do you mean I can't have it? I was playing as you. But yeah, okay, so this is Audrey and Wilson in the real life world. The unknowing daughter of an animation pioneer, Audrey has blocked out the memory of her past after losing her father, but his role in her life was not over. A talented animator and artist, her skills landed her a job at Archgate. Was a fate that led her to reunite with Joey Drew's machine, the machine of her birth, or was it planned? Actually, that's a good point. Was it planned or was it just fate? But yeah. Wilson, haunted by the impossible shadow of Nathan Arch, Wilson sought to achieve something that would make his father proud by luck. He stumbled upon the Ink Machine and was able to become the cartoon world's new master. Holding the cycle in place, he continued his experiments that could not fully be realized until the Ink Demon was purged. However, unnaturally entering to and from the Ink Realm has taken a toll on Wilson's physical being, slowly robbing him of his health. Yeah, Because in the real world, like he was like a lot weaker, but when he was in the cartoon world, he was a little bit healthier and stronger. So if you keep going back and forth from the cartoon studio to the real life world, it will take a toll on your body. Okay, that's gonna be hard. I mean, the thing is, Audrey isn't like a real person. She's like an ink person herself, so it won't really affect her that much. But for Wilson, he was like he's a real dude, so it will affect him, which is which sucks for you, buddy. Like really sucks for you. All right, the Butcher Gang. Okay, the Butcher Gang. Barley, Charlie, and Edgar, the three original members of the Butcher Gang, were formed from the Ink Machine. This, oh my gosh, decrusted by Alice Angel for body parts and bond together to stay alive with sneak attacks on their prey in Dark Revival. Yep, we barely even got to even fight these guys. Like they'll just, sneak attack you. Carly the Ghost. Okay, hold on. In Dark Revival, we meet an artificial fourth member of the gang, Carly, the Ghost Girl. Although when you begin to examine her closely, Carly appears to only be a shell with perhaps someone inside. Yeah. So is it? Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. That's the same. That's the same. That's the same. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. Wow. So this is pretty much literally the entire Butcher King now. So in Ink Machine, like the Searchers and the Butcher King were like the MVP. How do I say it? Enemies. But now it's like in Dark Revival, it's mostly the Lost Ones that are the MVPs, than the Searchers and the Butcher Gang, because the Searchers we only saw them like during the ending and around the locker rooms, and the Butcher Gang they were just they're just sneak attack, literally. He still has it, liar. He still has the thing on. Wow. Oh my goodness, the Keeper. The Keepers, Wilson's daily guards and scientists. They aren't perfect, but the Keepers will get the job done no matter the cost. They are responsible for pressing the ink demon inside a smaller form, keeping his power sealed away until Audrey came along and unknowingly changed the situation. The Keepers were visually designed to reflect the dangers and evils of the ink machine itself. Faceless beings made of gears and wires with no sense of mortality, morality, I can't say it, ordered around like cattle, a creation living without purpose. Yeah. So yeah, these guys are the suckers that actually were the ones that were pressing Bendy to become whatever he looks like now, because there's no way in evolution he became that. Because there's gotta be a reason how he became that. I mean, yes, evolution, it's everything, yes, but the Keepers are like literally, not gonna lie, if Wilson didn't really like find the ink machine, the world would have been, the studio would have been what it was till now. Because if this guy hasn't found it, yeah, it's like it's this guy's fault for making Ink Bendy a lot stronger than he is now. So thank you, dude. I really appreciate for making it hard for us to like fight Bendy, but I don't know, maybe Bendy will be on our side now, but who knows. Oh my gosh, it's Sammy, the famous music composer of the studio. Samuel Lawrence originally had a slightly larger role in the story of Dark Revival, okay, but in a story already filled with so many characters, making them all play so meaningful part became a challenge. Oh, okay, that makes sense. He was ultimately sidelined in favor of telling a more concierge storyline, although it is interesting to note that Sammy Lawrence appears to have mastered the flow ability in Bendy and the Ink Machine long before Porter and Audrey could wield it. Oh my goodness, so this guy has the flow ability, and he was able to master it back in Ink Machine? No, you were able to use it in Ink Machine. Nah, I guess during the time somewhere around Ink Machine, like, well, between Ink Machine and Dark Revival, he was able to master it because he never used it against us back in Ink Machine when we were Henry. Alright, wow, so this guy could use the flow ability. Okay, gotta keep that in mind. Gotta keep that in mind, buddy. Alice Angel, the self-appointed queen of the studio. Alice Angel is one of the most memorable faces in the Bendy world. Forever lost in a tide of insanity, she is an absolute delight to write for as a character. An angel with many layers, time will only tell if this inky temptress will ever reappear. I mean, the cycles reset, so she pretty much could appear. But yeah, her design is actually pretty cool. And her face really is still disturbing. But hey, your other side's still good, so you're half good looking. Okay. Lord Amok. Oh yeah, this guy that literally just tries to kill us back in the sewers. Ruler of a sewer cult, Lord Amok illustrates how the world of the ink had continued to develop into different societies deep within the darkest places through. Though he was weak in a fight, his name will certainly never die. Yeah, this guy was weak in a fight, but he had a little bit of good durability than the rest, but still, yeah. Ew, ew, King Widow. Look at its mouth. Look at the legs. It's disgusting. Okay, Ink Widows have begun to infest where the light grows darkest. Their king, the biggest and most feared, will only emerge from his nest when it's young or threatened. Yeah, and guess what? You still got bodied, bro. Okay. Oh! Oh, that's me? Oh, that's gross. Okay, well. Oh, shit, ahoy. Dooley? Okay, yeah, this is him like his original form. This is his monstrous form. The demented invention of Wilson, created to serve the dual purpose of dethroning the Ink Demon in the cartoon world and also upstaging Joey Drew in the eyes of Wilson's father, Nathan Arch. Neither of these happened. Ship Ahoy Dooley is a mysterious sailor with the own eerie grin, similar to that of Bendy. Yeah, oh my god, that grin is disturbingly terrifying than Bendy. Actually, no, it's actually equal, kinda. Yeah. Along with his sidekick, Crackle the Crab, it is unknown that what kind of cartoon adventures they would have had together. Yeah. Oh, that's like the, oh yeah, like the claw right there. It's like, yeah, that's like his. Yeah, it's like these guys roll into one and became this. It's like, ugh, that's gross. Oh yeah, Lurker, the Lurker. Okay, that's the actual name, or Steve, as he became to be known. Yes, yeah, I'm calling you Steve, bro. Like it fits ya. Okay, was originally created as an brute type enemy that would free roam the way lost ones do, but ultimately felt unnecessary as the random Ink Demon encounters already fulfilled the role of putting in the player on edge while exploring previous traversed locations. In the end, the Lurker found a much better calling as an unlikely ally, effectively expanding him into more than just a typical enemy. Yeah. Not gonna lie, when the trailer came out, I thought we were gonna have to fight this guy, but thank goodness we don't have to, dude. And he was gonna be like Aon Yotin too, which was, oh, I think, like, trying to survive Ink Bendy was just the worst, dude. But having that guy as like the enemy as well, just roaming around, is like, ugh. I really don't want to know how much health he had. Alright, was that it? Oh yeah, I haven't. Porter. As the cycle was held in place and with the influence of the Ink Demon held at bay, the cartoon world was able to grow and advance, creating such characters as Porter, a lost one who came to claim a new identity as an explorer. Porter was written with the knowledge that Dark Revival would be featured a far more serious tone than the first game of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and his light-hearted innocence would help the player feel some warmth in this inky world of sorrow. Yeah, this guy was a lot more positive than anything else. And we got Heidi, the one that gave me the travel ability. It is believed that Heidi has spent some time in the pit, a prison set up by Wilson and the Keepers. It is unclear why, but mostly likely she was able to access places she shouldn't have. The experience in the pit changed her as it does many, reverting her into a childlike state, longing for happiness again. Huh. Poor Heidi. Not gonna lie, poor characters that had to go through all this stuff. But yeah, I think that's actually it for real. Okay, wow, I think that is it. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Okay, well, I think that is it. Well, anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you would like, subscribe, turn notifications. This wasn't actually fun to actually see the archives again, but it is kind of a lot more bigger. Well, no, that's not really big. Well, it is kind of like a lot more. It's not spacious as it was back in Ink Machine, but it has like more of a areas now for each character and all that stuff. And Bendy over here is like the one that's in the middle. It makes sense because, dude, it's called Brandy and the Dark Revival and Brandy and the Ink Machine. Like, it makes sense for Brandy to be in the middle because it literally involves him, dude. And I know that the main characters, we got so far we got two main characters from both games. We got Henry and Audrey, and they're making a third. Well, I heard that there might be a third game, but who knows who'll be the. Will there be a new main character, or will we play as either Audrey or Henry, or maybe a chance Bendy? Because those are like the only three, like, the characters that we could play. I mean, we played Beast Bendy, but I don't know what I'm yapping about. But yeah, well, yeah, that's it for today, guys. It's wow, Dark Revival was a pain to go through, but it was still fun. All right, but anyways, I am gonna let you guys know right now that I am not gonna be able to record a bunch of videos for the next 3 days or 4 because I'm going on Bebe. That is actually stupid. No, I'm going on vacation in Nevada somewhere. Yeah, somewhere in Nevada. So yeah. Okay, well. Anyways, I'm heading out. See you guys later. Peace out. Stay safe. I gotta get ready for things for my little trip. And yeah, bye guys.